to help us get a jump on saving for retirement is our friend, financial expert, Chris Hogan, who joins us via Skype from Nashville, Tennessee. Chris, welcome back.
Hi, Chris.
Well, thank you.
We know you're the go-to guy on this, so let me just preface, is it ever too late to start saving for retirement?
Not at all. I tell people all around the country, it's never too early to get started, and it's absolutely never too late. But what we need is a plan. We need to be intentional. You know, the end goal is for you to end up saving 15% of your household income for retirement. But we have to get started today. We can't waste any more time.
Yeah, well, I read an interesting statistic, Chris, and maybe you can comment on this, that 60% of men are saving for retirement, but only 44% of women. So especially given that women live longer, how do you recommend people plan appropriately?
Yeah, that's definitely a startling statistic. And oftentimes, as you look at it, most of the time, women are the caregivers. They may be in the home taking care of children, or maybe even taking care of aging parents down the road. But I think realistically, what we all have to do is be intentional and understand if we want to spend later in retirement, we have to get started saving. And there are some small steps that we can take that can lead to big gains. We just have to have the wake-up call, in all honesty.
Well, I know, Chris, you're a big advocate. Every little bit counts, right? As you said, small steps can lead to big results. So what are some of your greatest tips?
I think the first one is understanding that debt is a threat. I want people to attack debt using the debt snowball. And what I mean by this is just to list out your debts from smallest to biggest. Oftentimes, people always try to attack the biggest debt or the highest interest rate, and you can get discouraged and frustrated when you don't see progress. But when you pick out that little one, and you get started on it and you start throwing extra money at it while making minimum payments on the other, you start to get encouraged and you get excited and you know you can do it.
I think part of the reason people aren't saving for retirement is if you're living on an hourly wage and you feel like you just have to cover your daily expenses, it's too remote to think about putting away money for years future. What's a tip? How can people justify and appropriately allocate their resources to cover both?
Well, and the reality is you have to understand your expenses and what it takes for you to live on each and every month. But the best way to save is utilizing a 401k or a 403b. Now, we hear these fancy terms and you wonder, what does it mean? All a 401k means is that a company provides their employees a way to save. 403b for hospitals, churches, things of that nature. But when you set those up, the savings happens automatically.
I've been told that even putting a small amount of money away, even $5, could add up. Is that true?
It really can. I read a story about a lady that put away the $5 she would get in change. She did this for 5 years and ended up saving over $30,000.
Wow.
So little,
Wow.
I mean, it's
so.
mind-blowing. But if we think about how much money can come through our hands at certain times, starting to put away the $1 bills or saving your coins or a $5 bill, these steps can help people learn the habit of saving. You know, we're naturally built to spend because we all like some things. But that habit of saving is something that you have to build and really structure it around you and what you can do. I've been saving change for over 5 years now, and I've not added it all up yet, but I get excited to see that money grow. And so I'm passing that along to my boys to help them learn that trait as well. So this is something people can start doing today.
And what are some tips to control our expenses as well?
On the budget side of things, a lot of people mistake keeping track of expenses versus controlling them. Keeping track of your expenses, that's called accounting. Budgeting is where you control things. You start to understand your income coming in and what does it take for you to live on. You can also start to restrict and cut back in areas where you may tend to overspend. For example, groceries and eating out are two key areas where people overspend each and every month. So sit down, know your fixed expenses like your rent and your mortgage, but also be very aware of your variable expenses, your utilities, your cable, things of that nature. And now start to tell money where to go instead of wondering where it went. We work so hard to earn our paychecks. Now what I want people to do is make their paycheck work for them, and budgeting will help them do that.
Great tips there, Chris.